When preparing for a juvenile correction officer interview, it's essential to be ready to answer a range of questions that assess your motivation, strengths, weaknesses, and conflict resolution skills. One common question is why you chose a career as a juvenile correction officer. To answer this, you should give your personal reasons for choosing this career and respond with enthusiasm and passion. For instance, you might explain how volunteering with an organization that mentors youth led you to discover your passion for mentoring and making a positive impact on young people's lives, which motivated you to pursue a career where you can work with youth on a larger scale. Another question you might face is about your greatest strength as a juvenile correction officer. To answer this, review the job description beforehand and look for keywords that describe the ideal candidate. Then, choose one of these keywords that aligns with your strengths and explain how you embody this characteristic. For example, you might say that your positive nature is your greatest strength, explaining that you always look for the good in people, remain happy, and don't let others' negative energy affect you. You could also provide an example of how this strength has been beneficial in a previous role, such as working with troubled youths who appreciated your ability to make them feel better about themselves. You will also be asked about your greatest weakness as a juvenile correction officer and what you are doing to improve. When answering this question, it's essential to admit a deficiency in a particular aspect of your profession and explain the steps you are taking to address it. This demonstrates to the interviewer that you are motivated and inspired to grow professionally. Be sure to focus on a weakness that is not an essential job duty. For instance, you might say that your greatest weakness is your lack of experience reading body language, but you have enrolled in an online course and purchased books on the subject to learn more. By taking proactive steps to improve, you can turn a weakness into a strength. De-escalation techniques are also crucial in this role, and you may be asked to describe how you would handle a situation. When answering, avoid describing techniques that do not align with the institution's values. Instead, explain methods such as moving to a private area, avoiding overreacting, ignoring challenging questions, and setting boundaries. You could provide an example of how you used these techniques in a previous situation, such as moving an individual to a private area, giving them personal space, and remaining empathetic and non-judgmental while setting clear boundaries and allowing them to ask questions. Finally, you may be asked how you handle conflict with a coworker or supervisor. When answering this question, provide a detailed explanation of how you handled a past disagreement. The interviewer wants to know that you dealt with the conflict privately, calmly, and maturely, and that there was a resolution. For example, you might describe a situation where you recognized an issue with a supervisor, asked to speak in private, calmly explained the problem, and worked together to resolve the misunderstanding. By showing that you can handle conflicts in a professional and respectful manner, you demonstrate essential skills for a juvenile correction officer.